Young adults have always been the core of pop culture throughout history. But one thing that sets the current generation apart is how much the pop culture revolves around East Asian media. As young adults, a major chunk of my group, me included of course, contribute to the current pop culture, and it's very noticeable how much we divulge in the topics of anime, C-drama, K-pop, webtoons, manga, J-rock. You get the gist. Our pop culture is centered around East Asian culture. And it also doesn't escape our attention how this pop culture has shaped our perception of life and how it has created a cultural shift from the previous generations. East Asian media has existed since the very beginning. Even so, the prime reasons for its widespread appreciation globally in recent times are probably because of the socialization due to much advanced World Wide Web connectivity and this intermingling that has encouraged the current youth to break cultural barriers, coupled with the want to break free from the monotony of pre existing, well known American and regional media. Also, East Asian media's visualization and artistry have a special distinctness to it that encapsulates the masses. People enjoy unique and different things. When a different sort of presentation of art caught our attention, we as a youth found it attractive. It created a cultural shift in what is recognized as aesthetically pleasing. It made us take interest in and enjoy the different way in which genres like fantasy, thriller, action, non-fiction and horror was presented in these media. In short, it created a change in what is considered as enjoyable by the masses. But when we look past the aesthetics of it all, another thing that made us stick to it and change our values is the messages we resonated with. If we take a look at pop music and drama from Korea, Japan, and China, it usually seeks to validate and value emotions in all shapes and forms and moves people to understand, improve, and love themselves, and then work on their relationship with their surroundings. And does this all in a way which is down to earth and connects with people, which was a stark contrast to the more glamorous art style of American and even Bollywood pop music and drama, which were becoming oversaturated with messages of romantic love, lust, or simply partying. This emphasized more on someone's stand in society before themselves. This difference in messaging made the current generation seek a more self sufficient and individualistic life over glorifying a glamorous and posh one. We sought to create an environment that sees the strength in being emotionally capable, where an inclusive and kind society is valued, and being sentimental is not always viewed in negative light. And we wanted the artistry in our songs to resonate with these sentiments. Our generation will be marked in history as those who faced a global pandemic. And during this pandemic, we interacted with more and more people online. We made friends and communities and found a sense of belongingness online. Incidentally, pre existing interest was reinforced with our communities and peer groups. East Asian pop media formed a solid foundation of common interest on which so many people connected globally. It encouraged people to take interest in and respect other cultures around the world and also to break prejudices and socialize with people around the world. And as typical with every pop culture, it shaped many of our political and social agendas too. It gave new avenues to existing movements like the feminism movement, LGBTQ movement, body neutrality and self-love movement, and inspired more and more people to take a stand against racism and toxic masculinity. Stylistic choices of K-pop bands and the depiction of characters in anime, manga, webtoons have motivated people to open up to and embrace a softer, androgynous, and more emotional side of masculinity, and simultaneously has appreciated a more diverse depiction of femininity. Exposure to such media gave rise to and shaped a mindset that questions the expectations society has from a certain gender and challenges the archetypical gender roles. This culture has made the youth open up about and form their views on mental health and given a positive direction to the pre-existing hustle culture. The appeal of East Asian media and the youth's growing interest in it has created the value system of our generation. Our pop culture has thrived on our generation being digital natives. It has given a shape and form to a generation of youth credited to be more emotional, culturally diverse, and politically progressive than the previous ones. It has impacted in leaps and bounds, both positively and negatively. But is the impact more good than bad? I guess only time can tell.